All right, my friends, I've spent 10 days with the LC100 load cell pedals from CAMMUS Racing, so let's talk about it. But first, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and I want to talk to you guys about these pedals. The difference between, say, like the standard pedals that I've had from Fanatec over the last year versus the new CAMMUS LC100 pedals, and just what I feel like the difference has been so far, going from like your standard pedal set towards something a little bit more high-end. The fact that these things are only $249 is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay, I gotta say this, Kay. I've been working with CAMMUS for the last year, a little over a year now. They've been sending me their products. They've sent me products to test. They've sent me prototype products, and they've sent me full on retail purchase or products just like these LC100 pedals. In no way do they pay me for this coverage, but they do send me the products. The one time that they asked me to do like a like a 20 video drop for the C5. They're trying to spread awareness for that. That's a $250 direct drive wheel that's absolutely amazing. How they can charge such low prices for these products is insane to me. Like I don't know how they do it and and still make money, but I guess when you are brand new to the market, you kind of have to do things to shake things up a little bit. And we've seen prices from Fanatec come down. We've seen prices from MOZA come down, especially other competing products from the MOZA line. We've seen we've seen so much shakeup in the market out there. We've seen Thrustmaster put out direct drive wheels. We've seen Logitech put out direct drive wheels, and now we have Turtle Beach that has just brought out another direct drive wheelbase in terms of competition for all these different markets. I think that I personally, after using direct drive, my friends, there's no way I could ever go back to a belt drive sim racing setup, nor could I go back to like a gear driven one. To me, those are pretty much kid toys. That's the way they feel to me now. After experiencing from 5 Newton meters all the way up to 15 Newton meters of direct drive power, this is insane. And the price range, guys, to be able to get into this market and to be able to get this better quality equipment, you would be surprised at just how much better the overall experience really is when it comes to, you know, just having this stuff. So I've never had experience with any other brand of load cell pedals. This is my first experience with these, and you know, going from the 2-set pedal that come with a Thrustmaster setup all the way up to these load cell pedals, I'm absolutely blown away. So let me talk to you guys a little bit about the experience that I've had with racing with just standard pedals. With the standard pedals, you don't have as much of a let me grab these Fanatec. Oh no, they're actually kind of buried now. So with your standard pedals, you're just going to have like a regular spring tension, and it is pretty good. I mean, like in point in case is the Fanatec pedals that I actually got with my DD Pro. Those were my favorite pedals. The most expensive pair of pedals I bought was the Thrustmaster T3PA Pro pedals. Those pedals were incredible. I love the fact that I could invert those. I had them inverted for the longest time, but compared to what the Fanatec pedals offered, the Fanatec were more superior and they were cheaper. They were superior pedals. Now with the Fanatec setup, don't get me wrong, like, and you guys can easily get the load cell pedal brake mod for that pedal set, and that will 100% bring you up. I've never tried them. I wish I would have bought that. I wish I would have bought that freaking mod, because now that I've actually tried load cell pedals, oh my gosh, man! Like there's really no going back to like a standard pedal. The braking is so much smoother and a lot cleaner, and it's really hard to explain it, and that's why I'm trying, because I mean, technically I am new to load cell pedals. I don't have a lot of experience with a bunch of different brands, so I can't really put like some weird spin on it. All I can do is tell you from going from like your basic plastic freaking pedals that you get with a T150 all the way up to what you can get. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of these other load cell pedals, and they look very good. They look very, like, they are well on point compared to what you get from the CAMMUS setup. Like, okay, the CAMMUS pedals don't feel cheap. They feel pretty dang good. They've got good springs, good tension. It looks like all the material on them looks pretty dang good. I don't necessarily have any problem with the overall material that these pedals bring to the that they bring to the table. It's good aluminum. They're the plate right here. The plate is steel. All of these brackets right here are machined aluminum, and then the pedals themselves are metal. All of the springs, you've got different rates for springs. There isn't anything in here to like change anything out though. You don't get spare parts. You don't get any of that. You literally get each pedal individually built with the way they are. You do have adjustments that you can screw them out, that you can put more tension on the gas pedal, on the clutch pedal, on the brake pedal. The one with the stiffest spring is the clutch pedal, and when you push that in, so like I've driven a lot of cars with the clutch, and when you're pushing the pedal in, you can definitely feel like it does mimic like the overall clutch experience in at least, I mean, like with a clutch on I would say it's a little bit springy for sure, definitely springy, which is good because you kind of like, you kind of might want to, bounce your foot on the clutch and stuff. So you do got that good spring tension for that. That feels pretty good. The throttle pedal is pretty nice. Like you can increase the tension on that to make it a little bit more stable, so it's not floppy. And that's what I love about this. It has greatly improved my throttle control. Getting out on a track on like Assetto Corsa or on Automobilista 2, even during rally games, like playing I've got some other videos, I've been testing it. I tested it on EA Sports WRC. I tested it on WRC 10. I put those videos out there so that you guys can see me, experiencing these games for the first time and like recording that video so that you guys can see, and then I kind of talk to you a little bit about it because I want you guys to understand that like sim racing, like I swear the higher the quality, the stuff I get, the more enthusiastic I am about being behind the wheel and actually driving. And I know, guys, honestly, sometimes you just feel like, man, do I really want to invest that money? Do I want to buy this? Do I want to do that? And, and there's so many options, and there's so many expensive options out there and stuff like that. And so when you see something like, the CAMMUS LC 100 pedals, and you look at them and you see the price range at $250, but you've never tried that experience before, and you have like your other pedals for a I mean, I think the Fanatec, what is it, the V2 version 2 with the, okay, so you can definitely beat the price of these with the standard pedal set that I got with a load cell on it. So you can easily do that. You can buy the mod. I think it's like another $130 with the regular like $200, like $79. These are definitely higher quality than those entry-level pedals, but then the next one up is like the version 2 setup that you can get from Fanatec. Those are, I think, $300, and then the other ones with the inverted pedals on them are like $500. I don't know exactly, but you see where like the pricing range goes. I would say these here are probably, in my opinion, these are more in between the version 2 and the version 3 in terms of quality for like Fanatec. They look really nice. They do have that straight up and down setup to them, which kind of adds. I don't know. I don't know if I like the way these look versus what the Fanatec ones look like, to be completely honest with you. But the way I've got them set up in my sim rig now, they it actually works nicely because they do kind of sit flat up, but I've got a flap. The plate that holds them is horizontal now. On the Fanatec pedals, I used to have it more at an incline, where now it's nice and flat. So it gives me the way to push on the pedals, and it actually feels pretty comfortable. And I actually like it this way more than I liked it the other way. The other way kind of makes me feel like I'm sitting in a truck. This way I feel more flat, like I'm driving a car. So I do like that. I do appreciate that. That is a good touch. I was a little bit worried about these at first. I was like, gosh dang, how are those going to work? I don't want my feet to be like... But after I readjusted my cockpit and everything, they work perfectly. They are 100% compatible with my FGT cockpit, so that there's awesome. I did have to pull out like different brackets and stuff, but actually this way was easier to set up than the old way. I like this way a lot better, to be completely honest with you. It actually is significantly better the way that this one hooks up versus the way the other way was. It was just kind of at that slant, and then you got to have like little braces and stuff at the bottom, where this one here sits flat, and then it's got like, I can still tilt if I need to. This one here, like, I didn't see that at first. I don't know why I didn't put that on there in the first place, but this one here I can still tilt. And it's got different notches that I can just bring it up and kind of put it at a tilt if I want to. So that's cool. I'm glad that I got these pedals. So then I had to go in there and like actually fix that and change that up. So now it's even better. The overall, now I want to talk about the brake and how the brake feels, because I think when you buy a load cell brake kit and you buy that, that's the thing that's going to matter to you the most. Now with your regular standard pedals, like with the Fanatec pedals, there's kind of just like a sponge, like a little rubber sponge thing, and that was the same way it was with the Thrustmaster pedals that I had, the T3PA Pro pedals. They had like this little cone shaped thing that would just stick into the back of the pedal to give you a little bit more pushback or resistance as you're pushing the brake pedal. Well, this one here has two long freaking shafts that go all the way down through it. Then on the one on the bottom, you've got a spring, and then you've got rubber. It's like a rubber thing in there, like mashed together, and that's what kind of gives you your spring force. You know, your spring force is a little bit easier to push. It gives you like more of a, you know, like a controlled thing. But then when you go to really push it down, then the rubber reacts, and that makes it even a little bit more difficult. But then, you know, like when you're pushing that hard, you're freaking maxing out your brakes. Like you're maxing them out. And so with the progressive with the cone shaped things that I had on the T3PA Pro and the Fanatec actually has a rubber thing that mimics just like that does, which gives you varying degrees of that brake, which in turn it's going to take a lot longer to build the muscle memory for that until you figure that out. And it's not as progressive. The braking is not as progressive as it is with a load cell brake. Now with the load cell brake, when I'm going around like a corner, like say I've got like a pretty nice corner, like a, you know, not like a, I would say like a 3 or something, you know. In terms of like rally racing, or maybe just kind of like an oval shape, you know, you don't necessarily really like just a turn big enough to where you actually have to apply some brake so that you can, you know, kind of, you know, aim for the inside. So with the other pedals, you would kind of just be pushing the brake and then trying to like mimic the feel of how that feels as you're going around that, you know, kind of just, you know, keeping your foot maybe a little bit tense or something, you know, and kind of just trying to position it. That's what I was doing. I was trying to position it because I couldn't really feel because you can't feel the G-forces as you're braking, so you don't really know if your car is moving or not, and it kind of just gives you a sense of like, okay, I need to brake a little more. So I'm losing time as I'm braking with like the Fanatec pedals, whereas with the new CAMMUS LC100 pedals, you've got more of a progressive braking. You can feel like the tension increasing the more you push the pedal down. So it's and like you can feel it more than you can like the little sponge thing. Like the little sponge thing just kind of makes your foot stop. You start pushing on it and your foot stops, so you push a little bit harder and a little bit harder. Whereas with these pedals, they have like a progressive progressive tightening like you would have on like a regular car. Like when you go to push your brake pedal in your car, you know, the harder you push, the tighter it gets. And that's the exact same way these feel. You start to push on the pedals and you can feel it progressively. Like you can feel like the amount of brake pressure that you're putting there. Like you have a little bit more sense. So it's a lot easier in turn. Like, I mean, it still feels, you know, pretty much, you know, like you still can't feel the G-forces of the car slowing down, but you can feel, you know, and you can look like visual representation of like, okay, I push it this much, the car starts to slow down a little bit more, and it feels more, it feels tighter. You can kind of keep your foot there like you would on a regular car, you know, like kind of slowing down, and then to me, it just feels more natural as opposed to just having like a regular, like your standard type of pedals. I do recommend a load cell pedal. I don't care if you buy a CAMMUS setup. I don't care. Like, it is what it is. If you do want, I do recommend load cell pedals for sure. Absolutely. If you've already got, like, say you bought the DD Pro like I got for your PS5 or something, you absolutely want to get on the Fanatec website and buy that mod that's going to give you that pedal. And you're gonna love it. Like the way that thing feels when you're braking, the way the load cell feels when you're braking, it really is going to make you faster. This is the one freaking thing out of all the sim racing stuff that I've bought today or that I've gotten, this is the one thing that I can actively tell that it is making me faster, because I am getting a lot better fine control over my braking and throttle control. Like I can feel it. Like I can absolutely feel it, and I am getting faster. Like I'm setting new records on Assetto Corsa Competizione, and yeah, dude, I can feel it. I can feel the smoother transitions of braking to throttle to from going from braking to applying throttle in my rally racing and stuff. I can feel like when I'm hitting the brake pedal, I can. Like it feels a lot better. It feels significantly better. I mean, when I'm driving now, I feel like, oh yeah, man, and I'm just giving it the exact amount of brake that I need. I'm not locking tires up. And that's kind of the way I felt when I was playing like WRC Generations, mostly the WRC games. I just felt like I'm either all out or I'm not or I'm not, you know, doing enough, or I'm braking too hard, or I'm not braking, or I'm not giving it enough throttle. Whereas now I feel like I have a much better balance for my throttle control as well as my braking. Especially like I was testing it out. I did two tracks, gosh dang it, two tarmac tracks for the video that I'm uploading right now. I've got a video uploaded, and like through the one, like I'm starting to figure it out as I'm driving, that like, okay, some of these turns I can just apply the brake. Some of these turns I have to, you know, get it down, and I have to do a little bit of hard braking so that I can get it around the corner perfectly. And then like I'm still needing to use my e-brake as well. So that's making it, but it is making me faster. It's making me smoother in terms of like being able to like drive and take turns better and stuff like that. I am getting faster. I'm getting smoother, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, absolutely. If you have if you're on the fence about, oh man, I don't know if I want to spend the money for that. I mean, these brakes that I got are just fine. You know, you really do kind of have to, you kind of really have to assess the situation that you're in. Is it something that you want to do a lot of? I mean, if you want to do sim racing a lot, and you want to be, and this is it, like if you want to be competitive, or if you just want a much better overall experience while sim racing, yeah, invest a little bit more money. I've said this before, that sim racing can absolutely become a money pit. Especially if you're buying the cheaper stuff. I think that's where that's where most of the money pit stuff comes from. The cheaper the stuff you're buying, the more money pit it's going to feel, because you're going to be like, all right, you're going to make that sacrifice in your mind to be like, yeah, these are only $150 versus $250. I'm just going to get the $150 ones and just be fine with that. And then later down the road, you're going to realize that, like, dang man, these aren't doing what I want them to do. You know, I'm not really getting, you know, And then you're going to see this kind of stuff coming up and people making videos about this, and you're going to start asking yourself questions like, oh man, what if I get some of those? And then you're going to be like, no man, the ones I wear, trust me, this is the kind of mental gymnastics I go through all the time when I'm thinking about new products and stuff. And you know, honestly, I've been waiting for CAMMUS to send me these. When I first started with them, they had these, but they were still prototype, and I kept telling them, look, I want to try those pedals. I want to try those pedals, you know. And finally they sent them to me, and I'm like, all right, cool, let's try this. Let's see this, you know, because I was planning on like rebuying all my sim setup and stuff, and I was, you know, kind of on the fence of like, what do I want to do? What do I want to invest in this? Where do I want to go with this? And when CAMMUS first sent me that direct drive, that kind of just turned everything around, and I was like, all right, I need to do this. I'd been planning on buying the Fanatec load cell pedals for a while now. Like, I had been planning on that. I wasn't going to get just the brake upgrade. I was going to actually buy like the version 3, the inverted pedals and stuff. That was where I was going with it. I was just, you know, I don't know what I was waiting for, but I was just like, man, I need to get those. And I kept thinking about it, and then I kept not ordering them. So this is cool. I'm glad that they sent me these first, because I was actually in the process of getting ready to purchase those pedals from Fanatec. I think the only reason I haven't lately is because I guess there was like some shipping issues with Fanatec, but it seems like they're getting that all resolved. So yeah, I do recommend load cell pedals. Absolutely. If you got Fanatec, get Fanatec. Stick with what you got. Get yourself a nice set. You can use these in conjunction with a Fanatec wheel setup. Like if you really want a pair of CAMMUS pedals, you can absolutely buy those. You can hook them up USB. They send you everything you need to be able to hook them up USB, or hook them up to the back of your CAMMUS wheel setup. So it is something that, like, if you're like, oh man, I want those, you know, I don't want to pay $300 for the version 2, but I want the way the CAMMUS look, then you can definitely buy those and mix and match them with your overall setup. Just know that you do have to download the software still for the CAMMUS wheel pedals, and vice versa. If you have a CAMMUS wheel setup with Fanatec pedals, you are going to have both drivers on your PC at the same time. So, yeah, guys, I do plan on covering more of this stuff in the future. If other you know, manufacturers like MOZA or SimCube or any of these guys start sending me this stuff as the channel grows, I will be covering their products too. Right now I have CAMMUS. Right now I have Fanatec. I like both of them. I like Fanatec because it is a premium experience, and it offers 100% compatibility with all games. It offers freaking the ability to play it on my PlayStation, my Xbox, and my PC. So there's reasons to own a Fanatec versus reasons to just buy a CAMMUS setup. The cost of the CAMMUS C12 and these LC 100 pedals is the exact same price. Well, actually, it's a little bit cheaper than what I paid for the 8 Newton meter DD Pro. Just a little bit cheaper. It's like $830 for this, and it was like $869 for the Fanatec setup. So at the end of the day, this way you get 12 Newton meters of power, and you get a significantly better set of pedals versus the DD Pro that's 8 Newton meters, and you get the standard pedals with that. And if you've put in a little bit more money and you get the brake mod, then you're at about $1,000 for that setup, which isn't bad. Like, that isn't bad. Like, Fanatec makes a dang good product. They do. Like, I'm very happy with mine. I use it all the freaking time, and I love it. I play it on my PlayStation, my Xbox, or my PC. And it's no fuss or nothing. I bought the PlayStation base. I hook on my V2 Universal Hub, and boom, I'm good to go. I do like CAMMUS more for rally racing games. I absolutely do. I think that the raw feeling that you get from the CAMMUS setup is better. But I do like the fact that I can, you know, set up my Fanatec in a way to make that just feel super smooth, even on freaking even when I'm out there on the gravel. Like, I like both of them. I think they are both incredible. I honestly, direct drive, guys, I don't think you can go wrong. I bet you can. I mean, you could run out and buy the Turtle Beach and probably absolutely have an incredible time sim racing. I think direct drive is the future. That's why you're starting to see a lot more competition in that market, lower prices, better features, more bang for your buck. absolutely right now is the time to jump into direct drive if this is something that you want to do. And I'll tell you guys, and this is me being honest, you know, a 43-year-old guy that doesn't compete in sim racing or any of that stuff. I just really like the feeling of playing racing video games and driving fast cars. Is it worth it for that? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I do not regret spending $1,400 on that Fanatec setup. I don't regret that even a little bit. I freaking love it. If I had to do it all over again, I would absolutely do that again because it gives me access to all three of my consoles. That is my pick, man. Fanatec is my pick. If you've got more than one console, if you're doing consoles and PC, I absolutely recommend the Fanatec. Absolutely recommend the Fanatec. If you just are doing PC, definitely get the CAMMUS. Save some money and get a lot better overall hardware in terms of like brakes and more newton meters and more power and stuff. Absolutely do that. I like CAMMUS. I do. I've been using these guys for about a year now, and I absolutely love them for my rally racing. So, all right, my friends, if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I really like these pedals. I wanted to do a good review. I wanted to get enough time behind them and actually use them and see what the difference was before I recommended them or before I did any of that stuff. But yes, there's a link in the description for CAMMUS. If you're wanting to do this or get into CAMMUS, I absolutely love these products. They're incredible. I can do any racing that I want to do on them. If you're interested in Fanatec, there's also a link in the description for Fanatec now. So if you guys, you know, want to get into direct drive wheel, those are the only products I've used. So those are the only products that I can really recommend. And I do think they're both great, and I do think they're both worth your time. There's benefits of Fanatec, there's benefits of CAMMUS. So you're just on the CAMMUS side, you're getting more power with a little bit high, with definitely higher quality, you know, gear overall. With Fanatec, you're getting a more refined experience that you'll know 100% that you can play any of the racing games that you want to play with that Fanatec setup. So CAMMUS has come a long way in that department. Definitely every game that I play I can use my CAMMUS for, so I don't necessarily think it's going to be that big of a problem. So alright, my friends, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one, and yeah, have fun. Have a good day.